Hello, I'm Dina Whalen, Vicar of Church of the Advocate in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're going to spend a little time on the Gospel reading for August 16th. The scene begins with Jesus deciding to leave the region of Galilee, where he has been teaching and healing among the Jewish people, and where he's been debating with the Jewish authorities about the traditions and rules that get in the way of exercising God's mercy and justice. He leaves Galilee and goes into the district of Tyre and Sidon, which is Phoenicia, Syria. And once he is there, of course, he's no longer among his native people, but rather among foreigners, Phoenicians, or also called Canaanites. When he gets to that region, a woman comes out to where he and his disciples are, and she pleads with a loud voice, addressing him with the Jewish messianic title of Son of David, which she has surely heard as people have spread the news about his ministry. Have mercy on me, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon. But when she calls out to him, he doesn't answer. This doesn't stop her. She keeps on pleading. And his disciples urge him, saying, "Send her away. She keeps shouting after us." He says to them, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she comes before him and kneels and says, "Lord, help me." Now Israel was whom God had chosen and to whom Jesus was sent. First Israel, then the path would be set for the rest of the world. Feed the family first. Be patient. The process of God's plan is in the making. It's just not yet fulfilled. Turning to her, Jesus sticks to this point, now restating it as a slur against her and her people. It is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. Israel being the children of God, and the Canaanites being less than children, unwilling to give up, and yet smart enough not to debate with him, she says, "Yes, Lord. Yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Crumbs. Her hope is so fierce, her will so determined to save her little girl, that she believes that anything, even a crumb, will be enough. Woman, how great is your faith? Let this be done for you as you wish. And her daughter was instantly healed. Now, I find the remark about children and dogs coming from Jesus hard to swallow. I find myself preferring the idea that Matthew flavored this event so as to help his Jewish audience to see, to have their own gradual conversion so that they could welcome with open arms the non-Jews, the Gentiles, that came to them wanting to be included in the life and worship of those who follow Jesus. Well, what can we take away from this scene? We can take away that when someone believes with all their being that their cause is right and just in the eyes of God, and they cry out for help, that Jesus would have us respond, not with the logic of or obstacles or excuses that are always available, but Jesus would have us respond with the love and power of God. There's a wideness in God's mercy like the wideness of the sea. Or this great hymn, "All my hope on God is founded." He doth still my trust renew. Me through change and chance he guideth, only good and only true. God unknown, he alone calls my heart to be his own. Tower and temple fall to dust, but God's power, hour by hour, is my temple and my tower. We are hearing about families who are trying to figure out how to provide education for their children during this COVID time. Some of them want to form small home-based groups, safe learning environments with professional teachers available. And I want their heartfelt desires heard, and I want their concerns about COVID contagion respected. And I want the response to be, whoa, great is your faith that you could do this thing. And what is possible? Let's work together and make it happen now for our kids, and keep monitoring the situation and make corrections and make improvements. But let's not make you wait until after policies for accredited school and home daycare have been changed. I'm thrilled, I have to say, that Trinity Church here in Asheville is making arrangements to provide a safe study area in their big hall so that teenagers can come together and be able to study and work together in a supervised group setting. Also, there are people who are out of work because of COVID, and they are facing eviction from their homes. Don't you yearn for nimble, adaptive options to adjust the system now? For landlords and government to work together to keep everyone afloat, knowing that everyone will have to make a sacrifice, rather than seeing a downward domino effect of a new wave of homelessness. Of course, systemic change takes organization and strategies and time and money. But what about the crumbs we already have on our table or in our hands? Let me close today with a couple of metaphors that came from our Lectio Divina group this week on this passage. Brother John shared that his grandmother used to have the kids take the heels of the loaves of bread and leftover crusts of bread and place them in a container in her freezer. And then at Thanksgiving, she had all the breadcrumbs she needed to make a big pan of stuffing. I bounced off of Brother John's story and said that it reminded me of my 2 rabbits at home and all those little droppings they leave behind. And every day I go out and brush them into a dustpan. But then I toss them into the compost pile that is going to help grow who knows what in the garden. What if all the crumbs we either gather or have to hand out are the small steps that big change is made of? What if we respond to people's pleas and allow their brave hopes to convert our thinking, our behaviors, and to activate us? What if we didn't wait for policies to be changed or laws to be amended or something to become politically correct when we hear of a true need and witness the strength of someone's conviction and faith that backs it up? What if we all just hear the need and witness the faith and say, whoa, great is your faith to be able to see this, to be able to hope for this. Let's get your needs fulfilled. We do see this nimble, responsive goodness in many places these days. Let's hope to see more of it. And who knows what the crumbs that fall from our tables can accomplish through the love and power of God. Go straight to it. Amen.